cast molds of various individuals' faces. And I would pour plaster Paris into it, creating a positive three-dimensional mask. And then I would paint it to represent the once indigenous people to the Bahamas, the Lucayan Indians. And so that show sort of kind of was the catalyst for where the work is heading right now. I think that Caribbean art and Bahamian art is one and the same. It's ultimately people expressing themselves based upon their surroundings, based upon the environment, based upon their socio-economic background, things that they find relevant to them. Everything is different about us. It's everything that makes us the same. My name is Shenique, and I'm a Bahamian visual artist.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
This is your ZNS News update to the hour. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis. Here's some of the stories we're working on at this hour. Family Island residents devastated by Hurricane Irma last year getting assistance from the National Emergency Management Agency. In a press release, Director Captain Stephen Russell noted that assistance estimated to be about $72,000 on behalf of the government. Following the assessments, 18 households were approved for assistance and received a maximum of $4,000 per household to assist with post-Hurricane Irma recovery efforts. 60 Bahamians have applied to purchase service lots from the Department of Housing as part of their home ownership initiative. But according to Housing Minister Ramon Ferreira, only 9 qualified. Ferreira strongly advised first-time homeowners interested in buying a lot to get their finances in order. And police need your help in locating Stephen Ollie Hunt, also known as Marcus Octavian. The 35-year-old is wanted for questioning by police in connection with an ongoing murder investigation. He's of a medium brown complexion and of medium build. And that's ZNS News update to the hour. Once again, I'm LaDawn Davis. Good afternoon.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Ever since the days of John the Baptist, the kingdom suffered violence, and the violence took it by storm, calling the afflicted, calling all souls in despair. Welcome to the Voice of Deliverance telecast from the ministry that is reaching out all over the land, delivering souls and changing lives. The Voice!
Join ZNS TV 13 Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for The Voice That Makes a Difference with the nation's chief apostle, Dr. Leon Wallace.
Quite sure what's happening. You know when you saw like the Dickens?
You thought it was the talk of the town, but get ready for more.
More energy, more excitement, exhilarating, compelling, informative, educational talk on The Conversation.
I'm Shenique Miller. Pull up a chair with a cup of tea and join me weekdays at 4 on Radio Bahamas 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, and The Light 810 AM for The Conversation. I'm excited to have you around the table.
Let's talk about love, health and wellness, transformation, yeah, we got it. Discuss your breakthroughs, national issues. This show will take you there, yeah. Taking it step by step, living your best life yet. Getting stronger and living longer. Let's figure out the questions for ya. I need a little conversation. You need a little conversation. When you need a little inspiration, tune into the conversation. Talk about it on the conversation. When you need a little motivation, life is better on the conversation. Tune into the conversation.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the conversation. Nisi, listen, you will understand. You know, when you move in and you kind of, you somewhere, what is that, the periphery? You know, the side of your eye, you see something mimicking, right? And then you realize, wait a minute, that's me. So yes, girl, I was a little scared. I was like, hold on, wait, what am I doing up? Ashley, let Julian guide you. I'm talking to the people in the television area, Nisi. Hi, Najana. Let Julian guide you, sis. Don't play. Welcome to the conversation. It's an incredible show this Tuesday. Hope you all are having a great day. I am excited because so many people have been calling already. Trying to find out information about my special guest at the top of the show, money managers. And so I hope you all have your pen and papers ready. I hope you all are ready to get this information, get the phone numbers, and also hear exactly how they come to help. I told you that what they do is not only give you loans, but teach you how to be smart about your money. And so money managers. And so this is what they do. And I'm really happy to have, this is a husband and wife duo. Yes, absolutely. A husband and wife. So they just have the whole family covered. And what they do is that while they give you this loan and help you out, the wonderful thing where the wife comes in quite handy, Lavette, is that she assists women in particular on how to be smarter with our finances. And don't we need it? Don't we need it? Because, you know, instead of buying that new weave, you know, you need to put the money elsewhere. So, or do something smarter. There's time for the weave, but you know. And so, yeah, I'm really happy to have them. They'll introduce themselves officially to us in just a moment. And then a little bit later, so much has been going on in the news. You know, yesterday I had the Minister of Health on, so there was no Hot Topics panel. Well, today we have assembled just a mini Hot Topics panel, and we are going to talk about the stories and the issues that have you talking, that have grabbed your attention really since last Monday when we talked about it. And it's so much, Lord. It's just so much going on, so many headlines and stuff. So I have like tons and tons of papers in front of me ready for that. And then I want to say a big hello. The vet was just telling me how she spent the day at R.M. Bailey. Pardon me, well, I spent it at R.M. Bailey. She spent it at L.W. Young. I spent the day at R.M. Bailey. And here's what happens. Of course, you know, teachers went back to school yesterday. And this entire week is just all about them. It's to get them fortified and inspired, motivated, encouraged. And so they talk about a number of things, from financial health to physical health and mental, emotional health, a lot. And so, of course, I went there to share with the faculty and staff at R.M. Bailey on how they can become healthier. They can become healthier this school year. They can lose the weight this school year. And R.M. Bailey is totally on board. And here's what they gifted me with. I didn't go there looking for gifts. I'll tell you, Lavette, I don't know what you got. But I didn't go there looking for gifts. But they gave me this nice water cup. I hope this BPA-free R.M. Bailey. Y'all trying to, all this little cheap plastic. But I went there, and this was so nice. Then, I don't know if my peeps can maybe just scroll the camera, because this is so heavy. This right here. They also gave me this wonderful fruit basket, really, really super, along the lines of being healthy, right? Yeah, very nice. And so I'm going to recognize the principal in a minute, but also thank you very much to Delvano McIntosh, who made it all happen. It's awesome when a school campus, the principal and his support staff can say, guess what, we're going to be healthy this year. Yeah. We're going to start a new trend. Yeah. And so they gave me this bag as well. So big hello to you, R.M. Bailey, Pacer Country for sure. And R.M. Bailey says they're the biggest public-private school in the country. And just based on what they've been able to produce and turn out and really change the whole reputation of that school in the last few years, producing great results for exams and that national exams, and really, really super. So congratulations to the principal, to his support staff. Congratulations for putting health first and for turning around the health situation, the weight situation of the campus there among the faculty and staff. And he is leading the way. Club One Fitness Center was there. Yes, Club One Fitness Center was there and told them exactly of how they really reach out to teachers and assist them. So thank you very much, Club One. Owen Burrows was there talking about products from Unicity that I have made no secret of, that how I have taken them and the changes they have brought into my life and countless others. And so, hey, R.M. Bailey is excited. We're going to hear more from them later in the week. They're excited, they're on board, and they're committed to being healthy. And so, welcome to the conversation today. It's cool to have you all tuned in. Big hello to you, Andrew, Nisi, Najana, everybody. I think Stephanie was a little above there. Also, big hello to you, Joanne. Thank you all for watching. I'll get to the YouTube audience. By the way, we're streaming live on Facebook, which is ZNSnews.com official Facebook page, and ZNS Network, or ZNS Network Bahamas on YouTube. And so whichever you want to tune in to us on. By the way, we're also on channel 211 and 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, and 810 AM in Grand Bahama. So we just got you covered totally. So welcome to the conversation. It's wonderful to have both of you here, Lavette and Patrick McFall. Yes. It's great to have you both here around the table this afternoon. Welcome to the conversation, and also welcome to Money Managers.
Yes, thank you. It's good to be here.
Thank you so much.
It's good to have you both here. Listen, I've been hearing so much about Money Managers. I've been hearing, super excited to hear about it myself, but so many people already are just pumped and interested about Money Managers. What is it? What is it that you all do? And, you know, how old are you? How long have you been around?
Okay, Money Managers Company Limited is a pretty brand new company.
New kid on the block.
Yeah, we're pretty much a new kid on the block. We've only been around for a few months.
Really?
And we are licensed by, a few months. We're licensed by the Securities Commission of the Bahamas as a financial and corporate service provider. Because of that, we are able to provide loans and financial services to the general public. But what our hook is, we have a few of them actually, but one of them is we are perhaps the most convenient financial service provider in the industry.
What do you mean when you say
For example, you were talking earlier before we got on air about being on the beach and relaxing. You can actually process your loans while relaxing on the beach.
Oh, y'all make it really easy.
Enjoying yourself a nice drink in the Bahamas.
Ooh.
Quite honestly, you can do that anywhere around the world. Once you can get internet access, you can get on our system and you can book a loan. And if you have all of your paperwork with you, you can actually do the entire process from the beach or wherever you want to do it from home. In between cooking, whenever you take a bathroom break from the office and you want to do it, you can book a loan without even having to come to our office.
So that lets me know then, you ain't got to go and see where your birth certificate is to get a loan from Money Managers.
Well, you have to have some documentation.
No, I understand that. But what I'm trying to say is not you're not in limbo for weeks and weeks and weeks at end.
No,
it's very convenient.
You can do it at your own convenience. And to be honest, this is what, again, it's so convenient that most of our customers, once they get paid out, they visit us once for 5 minutes. That's it. And they get their loan check and they're gone. And they're able, in fact, to access their account at any time. You know how when you get to certain financial institutions, they don't want to tell you what the balance is or how much you owe or what the transactions are. If you want to get a history, you have to go through so much things to get it.
And
With
you have
us,
to pay for it.
And you have to pay for it. With us, you just go online, go on your account, and you have access to every single thing that you need, everything as it relates to your account. So extremely convenient.
You know, one of the things about Money Managers Bahamas is the fact that, you know, exactly what the name says is exactly who we are. We help you to manage your money.
So you're not just saying, hey, here's the check, good doing business with you, now hurry, pay us back. You kind of almost hold people's hands.
Exactly, to make them responsible. And as my husband and my partner in business states, he'll tell you what our motto is. Our motto is, it speaks of who we are and what it is that we're trying to accomplish. And what is our motto?
Responsible lenders for responsible people. So we believe wholly in responsible. I don't know if you check the papers. Well, you say you have the papers in the front of you. You check it all the time. And take a look at what most of the other financial institutions are advertising. Debt consolidation. What a debt consolidation is going to do to you is pretty much extend the maturity on all of your loans. And by extending the maturity on those loans, they are absolutely going to be charging you more money. They might let you pay less today, but at the end of the day, you will be paying thousands more. So we're saying, no, that's not the way to manage debt. You don't manage debt by extending maturity. In fact, you try to manage debt by cutting the maturity shorter.
Yes.
We have, as a family, borrowed for mortgages, borrowed for car loans, borrowed for all sorts of different things. Property, we have borrowed to buy timeshare in the U.S. And of course, you know, those rates are ridiculous when you're borrowing for timeshare. But we've borrowed for all these things. But one thing we've consistently done is we've cut those terms short so that we can minimize the expense to ourselves. And that is certainly one of the most important lessons that we can share today is that all of our listening audience should not extend maturities. Don't get consumer loans for 10 years. Don't get consumer loans for 8, 9, 10 years because it's guaranteed you're going to pay twice the amount. So, for example, if you want to borrow a car, if you want to buy a car, and you say the car is going to cost me $10,000. So today you say $10,000 is a good amount to pay. I'll go borrow to pay for that car. If that loan is going to be 10 years old, you're going to end up paying $20,000 for that car. And I know we're not going to sign up to pay $20,000 for that car today. So debt has a way of putting the price up so high that it's unbearable. But because it happens in small portions, you don't see it.
Right.
And you don't realize what's actually happening
So it's
to you.
attractive and appealing from the outset. But once you get in, you're saying it's like, dang, you're wondering, okay, what's up? I would have been done with this loan ordinarily at the initial institution.
And in some cases, it is even worse than borrowing for a car. It might be borrowing for something that you may not even have possession of.
Yeah, like a vacation.
Exactly. So you go borrowing for a vacation and you pay that off over a 3-year period. I mean, so now you're paying much more than you would have borrowed, and you don't even have the asset anymore. So what we're saying is we've got to learn how to manage our debt, and that's one of the things that Money Managers is here to do, to help people manage their debt. And at some point, I have to make sure I talk about our most exciting product, which is our credit card buster. Ridiculously low rate compared to what we would pay on a credit card.
You know, one of the things, we always pride ourselves in is the fact that, as a female, we always want to have cash in our hands. We have to go get our nails done. We have to get our hair done. We want to be able to buy something new for a special occasion. But if you take it home every month, maybe $5, after you have paid out all of this money on all these loans that you have somehow accumulated, and then these loans have you locked in for a long period of time. So it's like, here you are. You took out a loan for a vacation. You can't even remember where you went because the vacation time has expired over the last, you came back home in a week or 2 weeks, and here you find yourself 5 years later
still paying.
You're still paying for this one vacation, but now what happens next year when you want to take another vacation? Your salary cannot accommodate another vacation. You find yourself still paying for the same old debt over a long period of time. So not only is it not healthy financially, even socially and physically and mentally, because if you can't find time to spend some money on yourself, believe me, females, you know how we go.
Yes, boy, that kind of gets to you after a minute.
Oh yeah, you're trying to put your own trying to put your own weave in.
It don't happen.
Yeah, exactly. No. And so you find yourself either borrowing from somebody else, or you find that you start envying those people who can make these things affordable.
How do you assist women? And we're going to talk about how you apply and how you really, what are the steps in a minute, Patrick. But Livette, how do you assist women? Because truly, these things, it may seem a little frivolous to men,
right?
But these things are important to us.
Very much
Very important to us to be able to do. And even more so now, you realize how important it is. You describe about the vacation. But if your salary is locked in a 5-year loan, that you're trying to pay back for just not even 2, you say 2 weeks, girl, who going on 2 weeks vacation
I know,
nowadays?
you're right.
Who lucky is that nowadays? So if your salary is locked on 5 days that you travel somewhere,
right?
But 5 years later, you're still paying for this. You know, how do you assist women with seeing the light at the end of that tunnel, not just seeing it all the way down there, but basking in the glow?
You know, one of the things that I would say, and I thank God, you know, when God has given you knowledge, you know, I really believe the people perish because of a lack of knowledge. One of the things that you would realize is that you have to always try to not put your basket higher than you could reach it.
True.
Just my mom taught me, you know, just because the Joneses got a color TV, you don't need exactly a color TV.
And you don't need to buy a nude color TV just because it's Christmas. You know,
Right.
you know, Bahamians still do that. No, seriously,
We still do that.
Bahamians still have to get everything new in the house for Christmas.
What?
No way.
Buy new furniture?
No.
Furniture Plus and all the rest of it.
Especially if you cannot afford it.
Yeah.
Why?
And so one of the things that I say to women who have found themselves in these predicaments because we've been trying to compete with the Joneses, or some people just have a fetish. They just like to buy plenty of everything. I've always been the kind of person like this. You know, only so many dresses you could wear one time, you know, and you know, when you buy, you don't have to buy the $300 dress. You could buy the $30 dress on sale and look as good.
Listen to me,
my sister,
sometimes better.
and even better.
That's right.
As somebody with the $300 dress.
That's right.
There's certain principles about money management that you have to learn. People see me looking good all the time. Shenique, I might as well tell you, eyes look good. You know,
Well, I know,
thank God,
I know,
you
of
know,
course,
I thank
yes,
God, you know,
yes.
and I'm not bragging, but I believe that we ought to represent well.
Represent well and be happy
Exactly.
for where it is that favor, hard work, discipline, and God's grace has brought you.
Yeah, and it's because I've been able to delay gratification. What you do is you don't buy every time, you know, I don't want to call shop names, but you know, the popular shops have a sale, or because they say they have a sale. You know, you buy when it's expedient to buy. Say you decide that I'll shop once a year. Not every time you have to have an event. What to do, women? You have to know how to change your shoes, change the hat. You know what I mean? You have to know how
And
to...
it's just a couple of things you could change out, you know, perhaps a necklace.
Right.
Like you say, if you're somebody who likes a hat, or if the occasion calls for a hat, maybe the hat on the same dress.
Right.
You know, perhaps a nice little handbag, or even your makeup, you know, pay for maybe a professional do. It gives everything just a different look.
It does.
You don't have to go in from head to toe, get this new outfit.
And that's one of the things that you could do to cut back, in particular if you already have yourself locked in debt. You know, if you're already locked in debt, don't continue to exasperate the problem. You know, find a way to be creative, innovative, to be, you know, just find ways to satisfy yourself without having to find that you're spending more and more and more and more money. And like my husband said earlier, you know, the key for us has been is that we have never gone every minute I'm in the shop shopping, buying a dress, or, you know, every time we taking vacations constantly. Strategize and plan. Doing vacations, budget. You know, he's going to talk a little bit more about it because he's the financial expert. I just came on with, you know, with the female approach. You know, how we could reduce our debt, but at the same time still live a comfortable life. You know, so find creative ways to dress up, find creative ways to go out. You don't have to go to Bahama, to the restaurant. You know, fish fries still good. You know, go where you can afford. You know, you don't have to expend a lot of money to hang out with your friends.
But also, whether it's fish fry or whether it's mahogany house, plan those treats.
Yes.
They don't have to be every day. They don't have to be every week or every month.
Right.
And another thing, cook at home.
Exactly.
Enjoy that. As a
Yes.
couple, you can create better memories, or just as good a memory as cooking together and that kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, that would be my recommendation. I tell you, it works. You know, if you budget and you said, you know, I'm going to only be able to spend so much money once a quarter or every 2 quarters on certain things, stick to that budget. Discipline yourselves. And it alleviates the stress. You could sleep better at night when the end of the month comes and the bills are due. You know, you want to be able to pay your bills more than, you know, you enjoyed the whole month and now it's time to pay your bills, and BPL people calling you and BTC people calling you and the bank people calling you, and you telling the children you're not home and telling everybody you can't take the call. You know, that's too much stress to live under. And so my recommendation, women, is let us cut back, be sensible about our spending, and let us be creative. Let's go back to baking bread if we have to. Let's go back to cooking home cooked meals where you could buy a pack of hamburger for the $10 you're going to buy Kentucky with, and that could feed for 3 days instead of for one meal.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, I know that you are as Lavette graciously says, no, my husband is the finance mind. Let's get him in here.
Right.
Let's just pick up exactly where she left off.
Okay, so clearly one of the major challenges that we have, I think every woman, every man, if you check your purse, if you check your pocket, you have at least one credit card in there, right? And this is our most exciting product that we offer in terms of assisting persons. If you take a look at that credit card, I'm pretty sure the interest rate on that credit card is through the roof, someplace around 18%. And certainly the regular payment, they try to keep, the institutions try to keep those regular payments as low as possible because they want to make sure that it takes you as long as...
This whole vicious cycle,
it's that vicious cycle. Yes. So what we've done is to, in our attempt to try to influence the market, to change our culture, is to provide a product that we will assist persons who can provide salary deduction loans, that we will grant a loan to pay off a credit card or at least pay the credit card down substantially and only charge 10%.
That's right.
Pretty much cutting the rate
in half.
In half, exactly. Pretty much cutting the rates in half. We see no reason why someone needs to have an 18, 19% credit card and hold on to that, only paying some 2% or 3% on a monthly basis and having that extend and pretty much continue for the rest of their lives, because it will be a long time. Even if you don't get another charge, if you max out your credit card without a single extra charge, it's going to take you a lifetime to pay that off. In our case, you will pay that off in a certain short period of time, depending on the amount. So 10% is what we're offering. And it's not a gimmick. It's not they're going to charge you 10% just to get you on, and then they're going to increase that to 18%. No, that will be for the entire life.
So for the entire life of that loan, 10%.
10%.
Yes.
So what we do is we try, and again, because credit card transactions, for the most part, are short-term transactions. You're not buying using a credit card to buy a car. You're using credit card to get short-term purchases, so we want to try to limit that to a short-term period, 12 months to 24 months, lock on a credit card at 10%, and then you could pay that off as quickly as possible. Try to get out of those credit card debt. We also have another product that is, the rate is going to be a little higher because that credit card product is a special product that, like I said, we are trying to influence the market to think differently. But we have another product. Again, it's a short-term loan. The rate is going to be better than most rates that you will find in the industry. This is 14%. In this case, the difference between the credit card and this one is that you would get the check payable to whomever you wish. It is not just for a credit card debt. It's now for whomever you wish to have that check paid off for whatever that purpose is. Okay, so now you have different. So
you're really providing hope for people to clear away some stuff.
Yes.
Exactly. Again, we try to help people manage.
I love that.
Exactly. We're trying to get people to manage their debt, and we're saying don't get caught. Don't stick with that 18% debt. If you don't have to, try to see if you can get out of that situation. And then one day you would be able to get rid of the credit card and live a debt-free life. My wife and I, we are about as average as they come. I grew up in Yellow Elder. She grew up in Oaksfield. So we are about as average as they come. Neither of our parents were wealthy. Just like everybody else, my father, taxi driver, mother was a store clerk. But somehow by the age of 40, we managed to be debt-free, including owning a house.
Freedom.
Including owning a house, owning a car, having investments, et cetera, et cetera. We were able to do that. And again, we used debt. We didn't let the debt abuse us.
That's right.
Because there's a way to smartly use debt, and it appears as though money managers is offering you that smarter way to use debt.
Exactly.
There is a way. Debt is necessary. But it's how you use it that it doesn't consume you and overwhelm you. You kind of ride that wave.
Exactly.
And bog you down. And see, the thing about it, we talked about being smart, but this is a way of being smart because you need to have emergency access funds. And if you have everything locked down in debt, when there is an emergency, then what do you do and where do you go? Money managers is all about trying to lighten the load so that you could get rid of some of these I call them debt that just have you bogged down and tied down, and so that you could now start making smart decisions with borrowing and, pay off one debt and then come back and get some more. So instead of us lending you $70,000, just for you to make a bad choice and bad decisions with and spend, it carelessly, we're saying to you, let us lend you smaller amounts so that you could do projects. Maybe
Yes.
you need to finance your child off in university.
Yes.
Maybe there's a bill that you have to pay because of some medical bill. Maybe it is you're trying to do some project around the house, repair the roof, and you need money, short-term money, a short amount of money, small amount of money for a short term. We're saying, come to Money Managers, and that's what we will do. We will help you be able to meet those needs in a short term, but in a sensible way.
You all are just so engaging. I'm going to give you a few more minutes, but we have to take a first break for the afternoon. Sharika Wiley says, "Yay, McFalls, love you all." Vanessa is tuning in. Nisi says, "Wow, banks make plenty money doing consolidations." And then we also have Floria says that you talk about the dress and the price of the dress. So she goes for dresses under $20. Now, where you find that? Where now?
Tell us the secret.
I know, right?
Clarence.
Kizzy, we have Kizzy watching, and Kizzy says this is good information. Hello to you, Denise. Hello to you, Kizzy again. Says pure wisdom. Stephanie, how are you doing? Also, Jackie says good advice. Everybody's just eating up, loving it. Serena says excellent. You will be paying them for the rest of your life. Talking about those credit cards.
Yeah.
Listen, we're going to get to some comments as well on the live YouTube stream when we come back after the break. Stay close.
G&M Appliances on Robinson Road has all your air conditioning needs this summer, like the Comfort Star 9000 and 12,000 BTU 13 SEER for just $399. Or how about the Comfort Star 18,000 BTU just $599? Or how about the Comfort Star 24,000 or 36,000 at the lowest prices possible? We also carry a large selection of air conditioning parts such as fans, compressors, filters, capacitors, or any part you may need. So, call today at 328-2083. We're located on Robinson Road.
At Miden's Wholesale, the concept is simple. The more you buy, the more you save. Yes, the more you buy, the more you save. This means that at Miden's Wholesale, when you buy in the same group 3 products, you get 15% off, 6 products, 20% off, and 12 products or more, 33% off. Miden's provides you with the largest selection of pantyhose, socks, t-shirts, school supplies, underwear, and much, much more. You can also sign up to be a reseller of DTC and Digicel top-up and save 33% on your purchase at Miden's Wholesale. We also ship to the Family Islands, and that's not all, because when you shop at Miden's, you can pay your utility bills, send MoneyGram, RIA transfer, and purchase tickets from Sky Bahamas and Western Air. So visit Miden's Wholesale today at any of 3 locations, East Street South, Robinson Road, or Lower Bogey, Luthra. Call 325-4434 or 676-4435.
Happily married with 8 children, Mully felt God calling them to sell everything. That call came in 1986 after a face-to-face encounter with children begging on the street.
I was really tormented by these boys in the street. I saw faces of me and I could not walk anymore. I cried, why is it that God wanted me to take me back again?
The Morning Edition is here on the ZNS Television Network, waking up to traffic, weather, news, and developing stories. It's the Morning Edition with your ZNS News team, waking you up.
The Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st through November 30th, when a hurricane alert is issued for your area, which indicates the possibility that you could experience hurricane conditions within 60 hours you should begin the initial stages of preparation for the storm. When the storm is 48 hours away, a hurricane watch is issued. Once a watch is issued, be sure to get updates from the Met Office via television and radio. Get your battery-powered radio ready. Keep your emergency supply kit, blankets, and sleeping bags handy, and your children and pets indoors. Be sure you have extra cash and that your car has a full tank of gas. Fill all prescriptions. A hurricane warning means that a storm with winds of 74 miles per hour or more is 36 hours away. At this point, secure all windows with shutters and plywood. Place your valuables and records in waterproof containers and store them on the highest floor of your home or in the safest area. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency.
More Bahamians are being encouraged to get involved in fishing and farming in an overall view of growing our agriculture industry, putting the Bahamas in a better position to not only feed ourselves, but create a sustainable food chain of produce for export. Hello, I'm Carla Palmer. In the next episode of Agriculture Now, we'll explore the potential of the fisheries sector. Join me on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m. for Agriculture Now. That's Agriculture Now on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m. on the ZNS Television Network.
For the latest news and highlights in Bahamian culture, tune in to the new Junkadoo 242, Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the ZNS Radio and Television Network. Radio Bahamas 1540 a.m. on 104.5 FM and TV 13. Each week, hosts Arlene Nash Ferguson, Eric Hall, and Darren Bastian engages listeners with some of the movers and shakers of Junkadoo and Bahamian culture. Don't miss Junkadoo 242, Saturday at 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the ZNS Radio and Television Network.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the conversation. I'm so happy that you are tuned in because this is fantastic news. You can be freed up from that credit card debt, whatever other debt, maybe the furniture store, whatever it is. Money Managers is here to make it happen. And I'll tell you what's really good and is getting everybody's attention. That interest rate. That interest rate is something that, Lord, you know,
10%.
Listen, keeping everybody is really happy to hear about that. And so big hello to everybody who's watching. Let's just see now. Let's go. I gave Serena. Hello to you, Ian Stubbs from LW Young. He is watching today. Big hello. Also, Sharika says, I'm so proud of you both. Continue to do the master's work. Now, here is, I'm going to get back to some Facebook comments in a minute, but here is the YouTube audience. Helen Adele Colby Johnson says, good afternoon, Shenique and your guests. Miss McFall is making a lot of sense. It is a pleasure hearing this from a woman's standpoint. Jenny says, it's about time. Amen. Denise Tina says she loves the show, says, which bank is consolidating and giving a credit card for 10%? None. The answer is N-O-N-E, none. Valerie says, good afternoon, everyone. You can get dresses under $20 from Ross. You done started a trend. Destina says, we all need to start living within our means. It was an adjustment for me, but it's a great adjustment. You take that stress off yourself. It works and there's peace. Exactly. Hi to you, Tisha. Thank you so much for tuning in today and for your comments and your questions. We're going to get the contact information from Lavette and Patrick in a minute, whether it's social media, phone contact, website, wherever, because you could be on the beach or jogging somewhere and apply for this loan. That's just how easy it is. Here is Vandella. Thank you so much for watching. Hope Strawn is watching. I think this is Hope Strawn, the former MP, so awesome, and cabinet minister. Thank you so much for tuning in today. She says, excellent and welcomed advice. interest you pay at commercial banks for loans and credit cards is, look at that, 18 to 21%.
Yes.
18 to 21%. Interest paid by the bank to you, 0 to 1%. Isn't that something?
Yes.
Disgraceful, which is very true. Stacey Ann is watching. She says, timely topic, McFalls. For ladies' clothing, they can go to Ross, Rainbow Store, etc. Buy what you need and save for what you want.
Yes.
I have created a savings plan. She says, let me see if I could get the balance of this, because sometimes because the live feed is moving so fast, I don't usually get to see all of the comment. But she's basically offering great advice, and let's see if I could see her comment. She says, yes. She says, I have created a savings plan for what I do is that I save $5 a week for each of my kids, husband and me, and it is given to them for birthday and Christmas. They use it for, again, what they need. It's not easy, but practice is permanent.
Yeah,
that's
great.
Practice makes permanent.
Yeah.
Very, very good. And so let's continue now. Patrick, I think with you, and then of course, Lavette, you can jump in.
Yeah, well, I certainly at this point in time, after enticing and everyone with that 10% teaser rate, no, it's not a teaser rate, it's the actual rate.
The actual thing.
I will provide our contact information, our website. You can reach us on our website, moneymanltd.com. That's moneymanltd.com. And so you can just search our website and see what we're all about, see what our products are there. And also when you're online, you will see a button at the top says Apply Now and Log In. Just click on the Apply Now button and it'll take you straight to our loan processing system. And that's the reason why you can do it from the beach, because it's all cloud-based. So once you're on the beach, you have your phone and you have access to the internet, you just go in, get on our website, and you can apply right there. Right at this time, we're actually also working on our app, our mobile app, and that should probably be ready, I would say, in the next week. We've already beta tested, and we're just finalizing it. In terms of our telephone numbers, and this is a secondary way to contact us.
You can call now.
356-3555. That's 356-3555 or 356-3557. That's 356-3557 or 356-3559. That's 356-3559. So we are really excited, again, about our space here on this show, and also our space here in the Bahamas, in our community. I never really did talk anything about myself, but for those who do not know and who would like to know, my background, I am a chartered accountant with quite a number of years' experience. I worked as an executive in 2 of our commercial banks in the Bahamas, and now I'm trying to have an impact now, not in the banking industry, but certainly still in the financial industry. And as I said, I believe that we need to change the culture of our people away from just getting debt for the sake of getting debt, but towards the point of using debt instead of allowing debt to abuse you. And certainly, I would leave this advice with everyone. Watch out for those consolidation loans. Yes, a consolidation loan might be helpful if you really need some cash flow and you're in trouble, but I am telling you, you will pay a hefty price for that. So if you're not prepared to pay that hefty price, which sometimes can be large, and I would actually encourage you to ask the bank, exactly how much is this going to cost me in terms of total interest payments over the course of this consolidated loan? I almost guarantee you most of them will not know how to answer that question, and those of them who do know how to answer that question will try to shy away from it because the number is going to be astronomical. Believe me on that. You can certainly try it yourself if you don't know how. If you know how, and if you don't, ask the bank and ask them to do it for you. But we are trying to change the culture away from just borrowing, and institutions making money. And talking about institutions making money, we are a financial corporate service provider, and we're not the only game in town. In fact, we're just the newest game in town.
Yes.
But I don't know how many of you have had these companies advertising, oh, you can get a loan for just $60 a week. Or you can get a loan for just $200 a month. But they never will tell you what the term is and what the interest rate is. If you don't get the rest of that information, you may find that it's a ridiculously high amount, because they can just say, I will charge you $200 a week for the next 15 years. And if they don't tell you how long that's going to be, you may find that you are actually getting taken, right?
Yes.
You're going to get taken. So you need to find out from these people, what is the interest rate? What are the other fees that you're going to be charged? And how long are you? How many months do you have to pay this?
What is the life of that?
What is the life? And what we have found, before we even got into this industry, there were quite a number of companies that were just charging some really, really high rates. So we thought, let's see what we can do to provide some clarity to the market and some fairness in the market. And that's why we started this company. So again, if you want to contact us, that's 356-3555, 356-3557, 356-3559, or contact us online, moneymanltd.com.
And
say that one more time, please, because we have people asking, what is the website again?
MONEY as in money, MAN as in man, LTD as in limited. So that's moneymanltd.com.
And, we also want, sometimes when you get, not everybody's computer savvy, and you may have some problems, logging on or trying to use the website. If you have problems logging on or using the website, we have an office, okay? And we're located on Royal Avenue North, and you could come to our office, number 7. You could come to our office, and we are there to assist you. One of the things that we pride ourselves in is a whole lot of times the reason why a lot of companies charge high interest rates and they have to, make a whole lot of money is because they have a whole lot of overhead, a lot of salaries. They have to pay out a lot of money.
Exactly.
What we are trying to do is have a lot of our work done via the website and the internet, and so that we could lower our overhead and we could give the money back to you. So instead of making our overhead costs high and charging you our overhead, we said, no, limit our overhead, all right? Don't be greedy, and help our people be able to finance what it is that they need to finance at a reasonable rate. Bahamas, we say this to you. Both of us are ministers of the cloth, right? And we believe that God has made us stewards over what he's given to us. We want you to be a good steward. We want you to be able to get what it is that you need to get, finance what you need to finance. Of course, all those small projects, because, we're not into the lending of the thousands of dollars. We're small lenders, okay, because we are backing. We don't have any underhanded backings, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? And so we want you to be able to do the small projects, pay the school fees that I tell you, we as mothers and those of us who are guardians, we are now trying to get our kids back in school. I tell you, I was been running around now for weeks. I tell you, it's amazing. I don't know how parents with 5 and 6 and 7 little children do it.
Yeah.
And the salaries are so small. And so what we're trying to do is tell you, you're going to have to be able to manage your money in a way that you be able to meet your household needs, keep your children from off the roads begging, and be able to send them back to school in a decent way. Our parents had 7 children. They were single parents, a lot of them. And they had to provide and make sure all of us were able to go back to school in clean uniforms, with lunch in our bags, with books and pencils.
Yes.
We say to you, if you can do it and you need our help, call Money Managers.
Absolutely. Sherelle Ali McIntosh says, wonderful conversations with the McFalls. Tell them congratulations and all the best in your new venture. Once again, Patrick and Levette McFall from Money Managers, thank you so much. Once again, give us those 3 numbers as we go to the break.
356-3555, 356-3557 and 356-3559.
This is The Conversation. We're going to take a break and come back with more after this. Stay close.
The views and opinions expressed on this show or program are not a reflection of the Bahamas Radio Network and, as an extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Real change starts. I've narrowed the audio signatures to 2 locations, Orleans and Westboro. What do you think, Pete? Westboro? This one's near an industrial park. I say we start there. Yeah, sounds good. Let's go. Follow my lead.
Welcome to Sanjay's Real Time. Can I take your order? We're federal agents. Oh my God, this is so Law and Order right now. Dun dun.
We need the address of everyone who's ordered the Bombay Bun in the last 24 hours.
Welcome, madam, to the Royal Blue Tavern. My name is Leslie, and I will be taking exceptional care of you. Service has been a part of my life for a very long time. I get a sense of satisfaction knowing that my guests came, experienced Bahamian cuisine, fine service, just the sheer joy that they get from my service is enough satisfaction for me.
You got to make the best of what you have in front of you. And that's some of our problems. We don't know how to make the best of what we've got. You keep on looking out the window and seeing something better. And you think if you get that, that's what's going to make your, oh Lord, this is what's going to make your life better. But I need to tell you, you need to make the best of who you are.
Join us this and every Sunday at 8:30 a.m. for Faith Touch on ZNS TV 13.
Let's talk about love, health and wellness, transformation, yeah, we got it. Discuss your breakthroughs, national issues.
Thank you very much, Margaret Elizabeth. Welcome back to The Conversation. Hot Topics panel, where y'all at? Yeah, welcome back to The Conversation. It's good to have you all continuing to tune in. Everybody, so many people just really love what they heard, and so money managers, hey, give them a call and see exactly how you can best be assisted. So yeah, listen, a lot happening in the news for all week, right? Well, Monday and Tuesday, a lot happening in the news, and it's really been. Did any of you welcome to the conversation, Dr. Denothra Archer?
Hi, yes.
and Mandel Miller.
It's a pleasure. Shenique.
Welcome to the conversation. Did you all at all see this BPL matter becoming so sloppy?
By no chance of the imagination. But I love it. I love it.
What do you love about it?
I mean, just to see that everybody business out there, you know, who paying for makeup, who getting security cameras, and you know, it's high time we start to get to the bottom of what's happening in these corporations on these different boards and so forth. And I love seeing that some of the board members are speaking out to their own personal experiences. I love that I think the DNA has called for an independent review of what's taking place down there at that corporation. And so I look forward to hearing more of what's taking place down there.
To hear what the outcome is of this investigation, which I don't know if this. What do you think?
You know, investigations don't really go far, including Commission of Inquiries in the Bahamas. It don't go nowhere.
I thought it was, wow, it was a lot, to say the least. But I think what it brought to light is a lot of what we kind of sometimes are thinking, that things aren't going a certain way and things are a little bit confusing. And it allowed us to see like what's happening sometimes on these boards and these, you know, we see that certain things aren't happening. Like we expect BPL to be doing certain things and we don't see it happening. And we never kind of know why. But I think all of this drama in the media allowed us to kind of see like why is it so dysfunctional? Why aren't we getting the results?
Thank you for going right there with the dysfunction. You see, all of this stuff, we don't doggone care who is the chairman, who is the new board, how the new board looking, how they sitting, how much makeup they got, what part they in order and how they ain't ordered, and then what web company they were supposed to go with and how they ain't going with it. The bottom line is the service sucks. The consistency of providing power is awful. In Andros, for example, just today, power went off at 8:30 and came back on after 2. That is unacceptable in 2018. And Andros is just an example. It happens everywhere too frequently.
And imagine, we have so many boards. I think there's like 80 boards. And it makes you think, like, what's going on in all of these areas? Because we see that the country should be progressing and moving in a certain way, and we just don't see anything happening.
No.
Is it that all these things are just up and awry, and it's not until there's a falling out of certain people do we really get to see what's happening? Because, like you said, Shenique, nobody really cares who's on these boards. Nobody wants to know all these little bits and pieces. But at the end of the day, what we want to see is results. And if this is what's happening, no wonder we don't have the results.
No wonder things aren't getting done, not just BPL, but everywhere else, because who knows what's happening anywhere else. But no wonder there's no forward movement, no progress, no, from the time we heard about these little used let's say BPL, for example.
And all these projects, we never see completion of any project
and then what projects
about.
are these? And then, of course, it was said that professionals are hired. Nobody's acting like a professional. It is just so, it looks bad on everybody involved. What do you think? Who's most to blame here?
I would like to place the blame of this at the feet of this current administration, because leadership is paramount. Everything rises and falls on leadership. And to see that the administration would have allowed whatever the grievances are to persist this long to a point where you've basically got this public conch salad going on in the newspaper that we really don't care about. And what it does for us is it says to us, for the last almost, give or take 2 months, it's been really, really bad. In terms of the power outages here in New Providence, it's been really bad. And to hear the board members start to talk about what part isn't being ordered and who's controlling here and who's interfering here and who's hijacking this decision, it says to us as a people that the level of efficiency that our country should have in order to function properly, we obviously are void of it. And I mean, we're paying for it in fuel surcharge, high electricity bill, no electricity here.
So I kind of disagree in the sense that when you say we don't have like the leadership, I just think sometimes maybe we don't have the leadership right now, but.
And that's really what I mean.
Because you have done, and I think I agree with you on the part where I say it's at the foot of the leaders of all of this, the ministers and all those persons, because they appointed the board. They said they had trust in these professionals to do a specific job, and they should have allowed them to do that. And if they were doing anything that was out of the way, then they should have quickly corrected that and kind of dealt with that situation within it. To see that, all these people, we're having this back and forth and there's some inappropriate behavior going on and who's using this as leverage. It shows you there was like a tug of war, almost an ethical tug of war going on. And now it's, the Bahamian people are like, who do we believe in all of this? But the information that's coming out, it doesn't look good for in terms of the government and the leaders of this. It really doesn't.
One of the challenges I think that does exist, for example, in BPL's case, where you have one of the former board members in the person of Nick Dean say it's almost like they're expected to meet once a month and eat the board's good food and just say, hoorah.
The food is good now, I can tell you.
Do they have to meet them?
You know what these boards are? These boards are simply somewhere to meet once a month with great, posh, very expensive, exclusive lunches. With some members of the board are handsomely rewarded. Others probably get something like a stipend. But the point about it is, it is awful. I mean, I talked about Andros being out for several hours today. Cat Island during the regatta, just this month, out for 7 consecutive hours. 7 hours. Nobody cared about the dog on board, and you all having lobster and lamb every month at every meeting.
And the thing, Shenique, it brings out is like, do we need these boards? If these boards are only following directions or supposed to follow directions, are they truly necessary in the scheme of everything? I mentioned that I think when I counted, there was over 80 boards, and imagine how many people that represents. And some are being paid stipends, some are being paid hefty salaries. We're hearing now that some people were being paid $100 and something thousand in some of these positions. So how much money are we really spending, and could that money be going elsewhere if they're working at this level and they're really only rubber stamps?
I think the challenge is the Bahamian people won't have a challenge with how much is being spent if we will getting the level of efficiency that we require to function in this first world and compete on a first world level.
But we're not getting that. So should we take another look at this model?
Of course, the model is not working.
This model of having all these boards and all these people and they're just sitting around and they're just taking direction. Well, what is the purpose? Maybe you need to restructure how you're doing all of this.
Let's take into consideration, you've had the former board, the previous board removed by the administration to now have a new board appointed. And that new board is already up in arms of who's up.
It is just too much. It is just too much.
Why do we as a people always have to be the recipients of all this chaos that happens in the administration of the things that matter?
And we're going to talk more. Yeah, listen, we can really get into it because I think it was the leader of the PLP that dumped those words there: cronyism, favoritism, every kind of ism. And we're going to look closer at it. In fact, I love the Tribunes in the business section of the Tribune. BPL board, this is by Neil Hartnell, BPL board battle like Nightmare on Elm Street. Stay exactly where you are. We're going to take a break and go to the news at 5 and come back with more of the conversation on this special Hot Topics after the news update.
The views and opinions expressed on this show or program are not a reflection of the Bahamas Radio Network and, as an extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Hi, I'm Stuart Cove, and for many years, I've taken pride in introducing young Bahamians and international visitors to the wonders of our Bahamian underwater world. Our marine ecosystem helps to keep our tourism industry and fisheries sector healthy and lucrative. We must all do our part in protecting it for future generations. And that is why I ensure our staff and customers are taught about the importance of coral reefs. I do this and more to protect our underwater life because I care. Do you?
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
This is your ZNS News Update live at 5. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis. Here's some of the stories we're working on. Several teachers assigned to Family Island districts are reportedly still encountering some challenges. President of the Bahamas Union of Teachers, Belinda Wilson, says the reassignment letters for some teachers have been delayed, causing a major inconvenience for teachers entering the profession. Faculty, staff, and students from Catholic schools across the country got a full day in the classroom today after a one-day orientation seminar on Monday. They got the opportunity to share their ideas and outlook for the new academic year. And yesterday, ground was broken for a $2.5 million maritime center, which will provide some 80-plus jobs to Grand Bahamians. During a weekly briefing, Press Secretary Anthony Newbold assured residents in the nation's second city that the government will continue to make strides to get them off the unemployment line. And this is your ZNS News Update to the hour. Once again, I'm LaDawn Davis. Good afternoon.
Together, they engage in a range of activities which may seem simple, but have the potential to give Symphonia the head start she needs.
In terms of this program, yes, it's going on in some islands across the Caribbean, but on the wider level, clearly, how important is that whole issue of the early childhood development?
Now you can watch the ZNS network of channels absolutely free. That's right, ZNS is now broadcasting 3 separate channels, free to air on Channel 13. One channel has the regular ZNS TV HD programming. One is the Parliamentary channel, and one is the 24/7 television community page. These channels may be accessed simply by attaching either a rabbit ears antenna or an indoor amplified antenna to the RF input connector on the back of your digital television or flat screen TV. Once the antenna is connected, select TV mode and choose Auto Scan, and your TV will automatically pick up Channel 13 at no charge. Once you're on Channel 13, just use the channel selector to go to each of the 3 ZNS free channels. Antennas are available on many sites online. Free TV, ZNS brings it back to you.
As a young man at the University of the Bahamas, I have dreams, goals, and ambitions just like everyone else. My wheelchair does not limit me. And neither does my university.
We gon' walk it out and mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up.
Brought to you by UBTV and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Conversation when you need a little inspiration. Tune into the conversation. Talk about it on the
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the conversation. I tell you, Mandel and Dr. Denothra, asking me for these fruits. I told them, listen, you're going to have to do the kind of things I do. Don't be trying to come here begging me for my stuff. But thank you once again to R.M. Bailey Senior High School for, number one, putting on a wonderful seminar for teachers. Every school does it at that week that teachers report to school. And they started yesterday, and today they had us there to talk about health and wellness, a very important topic. And so they presented me with this. I had Club One Fitness Center was there, and also Unicity talking about a Healthy Bahamas Coalition initiative that we've partnered with the Ministry of Health. And so the message is getting out there. Super, super happy. Big hello to Delvano McIntosh and to the principal man, if I can just remember his name, no disrespect, but he made it all possible for us to get there and to come on his campus along with his staff. He was there sitting attentively and decided that he too will get on board with the Healthy Bahamas initiative and making the campus of R.M. Bailey the healthiest campus in the Bahamas. And so I want to commend the principal there at R.M. Bailey Senior High School for that. Big hello to Mike Ritchie, who is watching from Turks and Caicos Island. He says, Miss Miller, great show again. Greetings from TCI. Hi to you, Mike. Hope that you are doing great. And thank you for tuning in from Turks and Caicos today. On the live stream for the YouTube channel, Cuddy Thomas says, Mr. Mandel, BEC had a problem with the board from I Was a Child. From I Was a Child. Ministers avoid them to keep their jobs, just abuse of power in BTC.
You know what that sounds like, Shenique? You remember that situation we had maybe about a year, 2 years now, where I think a former board member and I can't remember his name, Fred Ramsey, I think it was, where the elder gentleman was caught up in some
and people feel as though he took the fall for some. I remember that. That was a handful of years ago, maybe 3-ish.
Exactly.
That was under the
former administration.
The Ingram administration.
The Ingram administration. Mm-hmm. And so the thing about it is, you're right.
It appears to be a culture that's brewing.
It's because it's a big money place, right? When you're talking contracts and stuff in this company, you're talking millions to hundreds of millions, and now we're talking even billions of dollars with LNG. And so that's a lot of money that's going around. This is not the place to have your friend. working. This is the place that you need competent professionals.
We need competent.
who are
We have
going
come to
do
the
job.
point that we need competent. Now, if your friend competent, that's fine.
That's
There
fine.
has to be benefits in friendship.
yes.
But it can't be, as you said, this is no time to have your friend, and you know they love to say family or lovers, in positions that they cannot perform in.
But let's be real with ourselves here. How many decisions are made in the government where politics is completely removed or is divorced of politics? And which in the Bahamas we say friends, family, and lovers. We got to be real with ourselves.
With some accountability. I mean, because what we've seen, and the person said, we've had this dysfunction for so long. Year after year, we're going through the exact same problem.
What checks
we almost
and balances?
Can look forward to BEC cutting our lights off every summer.
But what checks and balances have we put in place to remedy this over these years? Like that texter or that person commented and said, over this period of time, what have we done? What have administrations in the past done to create checks and balances?
We're kind of asking the same people involved in the system to check themselves.
The same people who are involved in this, the same people who sell the oil to BC.
We've basically been going in the same direction, choosing the same set of people for the past, 40, 50 years now. And so you're asking the same group of people, even though, the faces might change, the shirt colors don't really change a lot, to basically police themselves. I think we need to mix it up a bit and put some young blood in there or change some people, because it's just too much connection.
For example, I for one have believed that BC or BPL, which is called now, has been unable to move into renewable energy because of it not being able to profit whomever kind of sits at the monopoly of who buys fuel from
It's the same
who BC buys
old
fuel from.
crew. So a certain person who
See, that same old crew ain't gonna make the money if we switch to if we go to renewable energy.
But they've been connected to the same set of people over and over, so nothing changes.
Have we seen the minister, Tisha? Thank you on YouTube Live. Tisha says the volume of my gas is low, but Margaret Elizabeth said that the volumes are good. We're gonna try work that out, Tisha, for you. Okay, have we seen a minister become this embroiled before and to this magnitude
with BEC,
with any public corporation or company?
Yes.
Let's not forget. Remind me.
Let's not forget the pot cake.
This was the same.
Let's not forget the pot cake, and it's
he had
the
a big
same.
row with
It's the
same
same corporation.
I think, Bill. Okay, obviously BEC, BPL has issues then.
But
it's
at
the
the
same
time,
corporation.
He was the chairman.
And he was the chairman.
And he was complaining that he wasn't able to do what
he wanted
had set
to do.
out to do, and that he had this plan. Remember, he was the first one, at least in government, who was talking LNG.
LNG, yes.
And he was saying he couldn't move forward this LNG, and he wanted to do some floating plant thing, all these different things. And he said he couldn't move forward for some reason. I'm like, you're in government. What do you mean? Who's stopping you from moving forward? But at that point in time, he was the chairman. And he was having the same cry.
Now, what do you all make of this headline in the Tribune? BPL board battle like nightmare on Elm Street. It really is that. It is. I don't know. I mean, maybe because of the prevalence of social media, the fact that the media is more just pronounced in your face with these headlines. I'm not sure what it is, but this is ugly.
Let's think about the Elm Street of when Bahamians are inside wash houses trying to get power in the night. When Bahamians are parked out on the beach, just trying to catch some fresh air in the night. This is indeed an Elm Street type of situation for us. For us as the consumers, the customers of BPL, it does seem like a nightmare on Elm Street with the amount of power outages. In particular.
Who's Freddy Krueger?
Freddy Krueger is BPL.
Oh, BPL is Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Before you continue, Mandel, who is Freddy Krueger?
Sorry, but in this, it seems like the minister, because he seemed to have gone in hard on this chairman, and the former chairman, and he brought up some personal stuff, the stuff about the makeup. Some people were wondering.
I think that was a little too much.
There was like some gender stuff going on there.
In fact, I'll tell you, and this is where the PLP leader took it. He said, "Listen, this is almost misogynistic." I don't know. Wait. Let me just pull back. Let me not try create words. Mr. Davis said, recent reports on the BPL saga have conveyed a culture of cronyism, favoritism, male chauvinistic behavior, and corruption that too many Bahamians find absolutely shocking.
Yeah, I think he said it correctly. The problem is who's saying it, right? So he was actually the former Minister of Works that the pot cake was complaining
with,
under his leadership. And so I think this is where the PLP is having a problem, because you were just there. We complained about some of the same things with you. So even though he makes very good points, I think a lot of Bahamians aren't hearing it.
So people aren't hearing him because it's like, man, you was just there. No, not even 2 years ago.
Exactly.
And the same issues was going on with you.
In fact, they're fixing problems that you left behind.
So what are y'all trying to say? Y'all telling the PLP to put his fingers on his lips?
Yeah, let Chester talk or something. Let somebody else.
That's true. Maybe let someone else talk, because I don't think it's going to come through clearly with him speaking, knowing that. And the thing about it is, he was actually the Minister of Works at that time. And so to say that all these things were left behind, it's very hypocritical. And so it shows that he is no better.
Y'all pricking my memory today, because I'm starting to remember a lot of things. If I remember correctly, the current leader of the opposition himself was involved in some controversy in relation to what was taking place at BEC and who was the secretary and the this and the that and the next thing. And I don't know if we have had any resolution on what took place with that matter. I'm remembering.
The secretary had some ownership or something.
I can't remember what the
1%.
The whole idea is the current leader of the opposition himself was also involved in some controversy. So even him ain't squeaky clean enough to say touch this issue with BPL.
Hi Pat, thank you very much for holding. Welcome to the conversation.
Hi Shenique, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, and it's good to see you. Good afternoon to your guest.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Gentleman, you're very sharp today.
Yeah, he's quite sharp. Yeah.
I'm trying to keep up with Shenique, Miss Pat.
Yeah, you better. You better.
She moving though.
Yeah, really, really lovely. But I just wanted to chime in on this discussion. I hear what you're saying in reference to the leader of the opposition, and you're absolutely right. However, that is the reason why he's over there, and the new administration is in place. Things are supposed to be, should be on a different, the strategy should be different. We should be on a different road right now. You understand? And some of the things that is why he can jump up and I agree that he should not be the person in the front there making these statements. I think there are numerous persons in the opposition who are part of that opposition who can come forward and speak on this particular issue. With him being a former minister responsible, I personally don't think, although he is leader of the opposition, I agree with that point. But my question, and I want to hear, I may have tuned in a bit late, in reference to the topic that I heard in the news today, in reference to the chairman, the now chairman, and what his stance is on the conflict, the appearance of conflict of interest with him having a bid-in.
Yes.
For a contract.
Yes. In fact, Pat, I'll just read so people can understand where we're going to go with this and have my guests respond. Here's an excerpt from an article. The headline reads, Moxie's company had made sales pitch to BPL, a software company owned by the newly appointed Bahamas Power and Light BPL chairman, Donovan Moxie, made a pitch to BPL last year seeking to convince the company to use its payment app, Moxie confirmed. However, Moxie said BPL and his company never came to any formal agreement or made any deal regarding the app. And so you're saying, like, where is this going to go now?
Now, when they questioned him, he said that he doesn't see any problem.
Any conflict of interest there
because of that, and he says that what he's willing to do, he will sit out when they actually meet on this particular bid, right? He will sit out. He will recuse himself while all of the discussion is going on. And I heard a soundbite where the deputy or the
yes, go ahead, Ms. Pot.
Where Mr. Holler-Wesco, his deputy says that he finds nothing out of the ordinary with that. So I just want to look at this whole thing and see if we're trying to get away from something or the appearance of something, we have to be willing to go all the way with this. So like I said, I didn't know. I'm happy you read that. So I just want to put it there so Mandel and the other lady can really speak on that, or callers can chime in on how they feel about that particular. Because the board has just been changed. It's a new board now.
Newly formed,
okay?
under 2 weeks ago.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Pat. Thank you. Your thoughts on the point she raised. Here is a chairman who previously put in a bid for his company to do business with BPL, and now he sits in he has total power. He sits in the position where he makes the decisions, or maybe perhaps can influence it.
I think it's really awkward and brings up the question: what do we consider a conflict of interest? If this isn't clearly a conflict of interest. Now, I understand the country is small, and so, you're going to have people who are interacting on different levels. And so I think the best thing would have been to either say he couldn't take the job if he was still trying to get the contract, or not to pursue it. Although he says he's going to stand off from being a part of that actual vote, will that still influence the board, him being the chairman and not just a board member, to say, well, I'm going to step away whilst the rest, he's the actual chairman.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is a conflict of interest, and I don't think that's in our best interest. Even if his company is maybe the best person for the job, he has to, I think people just want so much these days, right? You want to be the chairman, and you also want the board to accept your company.
Yes.
Choose one.
Yes.
Our country needs right now people to be more altruistic. We have so many problems that we need to fix that we don't need people just being all about just greed right now. We need some people to step up, get the job done, and kind of put some of this stuff aside. I just think it's a lot. And after the conflict with the last board, they should have wanted the most clean hands in there as possible.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. Mandel, you want to add anything to that?
I'm sitting here reading what the deputy chair said, where he said, speaking in reference to the chairman, he says he shouldn't have to put aside a company that he's been working for the hypothetical possibility that there is some contract with BPL down the road. Halavesco said his company should be able to proceed regardless as to whether or not he is volunteering his time for BPL. If it comes to BPL, then he can recuse himself. To see that this early in this board getting in, to see that we're already having challenges, it speaks to what I think we're going to be faced with down the road from here, in terms of how BPL is governed. And I heard the former chairman allude to something, which was her attempt was to try and get BPL to function on an international standards level. And to hear that, even if it wasn't possible also, to know that that's the direction that we need to move in. And to see this is to no asset in terms of us moving in that direction. And so I really look forward to seeing the administration kind of bring some resolution to what's taking place down there at BPL. Enough is enough for us as a people, man.
Should, as Davis is demanding, should the Prime Minister make Works Minister Bannister and CEO Hastie and Executive Director Patrick Rollins not really step down necessarily, but perhaps be on administrative leave until the investigation is complete?
I'm trying to pull up another article here.
Definitely, at least he should be. If you said you're going to investigate the situation, you remove the other board because things got so crazy, and now all of this stuff is inside of the media, just take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
What we're actually seeing is him sitting at the table with the board, encouraging them to actually hurry up and finalize this deal.
But wasn't he just this week, I think yesterday, telling the board, the minister, listen, we need, unity and get along and let's make this happen, et cetera, et cetera.
You know what I find disingenuous? To see that the minister in the last week or two would have, said all that he had to say, and then today, when being questioned by reporters, he's saying, oh, I have nothing to say. The Prime Minister has ordered an investigation. You'll hear from the Prime Minister on that. That's the end of that. This culture we have in this country where once the government says it, whether it's F&M, PLP, or NEP, or anything, that's gospel and it's written in stone, I think we have to move past that.
It's just arrogance.
And it's taken as that. And the reality of it is that as a people, we've become more mature in terms of us wanting to be involved in the day-to-day operations of our country and what's taking place, the decision-making, and so forth. So now to hear, you didn't talk about the woman makeup and what camera she got around the house and this and that, but now you don't got nothing else to say other than, oh, the Prime Minister's ordered an investigation and the Prime Minister will it's basically you passing the buck, deflecting, kicking the can down the road. All them is the political terms that they use. But who's the victim in all of this? The consumers. Us who sweating in the night.
The thing about it is we complain about this Westminster system, but in this system, he's actually supposed to resign. Any kind of thing where there's this type of conflict or possible corruption or interference, he's supposed to not resign as maybe an MP, but he's supposed to resign from that post as an honorable, and this is why we call them honorable. It's supposed to be a position of honor. And we find that the system gets abused in which people use the aspects of it that they want. But when it comes to doing the right thing, well, okay, I realize that I've gotten myself into this thing. It doesn't look good. I'm going to step back and come back when maybe things have cleared up. We don't see that.
Ms. Cooper, are you still holding? Do we still have Ms. Cooper holding? Hi, Ms. Cooper. Hello, welcome to the conversation.
Yeah. Hello, welcome to
Turn your television or your radio down.
Hey.
Hello. Yes, you're on live.
Y'all have any school bags for children, Mr. Shenique?
If we have school bags for kids?
Yes, ma'am.
I cannot necessarily answer that at the moment. Perhaps if you continue to listen in, we may have a surprise or two for you.
If I listen it right now?
So listen, today we're not talking about school bags though. As I said, continue to listen in and, we're trying to work on something. Maybe have a few giveaways. But thank you for holding and thank you for calling into the show today. This is The Conversation. We are talking about, really, it's an abbreviated Hot Topics panel discussion today. We're going to take a break. Let's just see. Before we take a break, let me just get to some Facebook comments. Donald says, Shenique Miller, the conversation should continue with your conversations as you are doing now. You will far surpass any government in transforming our Bahama land, notwithstanding the damage they are continuing to do to our country. He says, we can't put any checks and balances in anything until we can get an administration that will actually bring about total reform in the country from the top down. Owen is saying hello to you.
Hi, Owen.
Yes, hello to you. Cornelia Moxie says, Dr. Moxie needs to resign because of conflict of interest with his company and him being the son-in-law of Franklin Wilson. Here is Hansel. Hansel is enjoying today's show. He says, Shenique, you're doing a wonderful job keeping the Bahamian people informed. And Cornelia says, the three of them need to resign now.
You know, Shenique, I really want to thank you, and I wanted to open with thanking you for yesterday's show. Very informative. I mean,
it was.
You do a phenomenal job, and I always tell people I fell in love with you as a journalist because when you bring a story to the Bahamian people, you leave us with no questions to ask.
Well, thank you,
And you did a phenomenal job with the Minister of Health yesterday in terms of the information that you would have gotten out of him for us as a people, and even I saw it as you responding to the demand from the people. The minister made this soundbite about you fat and this and that. People wanted him to explain what he meant. You went out there, made the necessary arrangement, had him here, and so I commend you on what you do, ma'am.
Thank you very, very much. And he came and he was very open and forthright. You know, that Dwayne Sands really, and he puts himself out there as well. He puts himself out there. Listen, you all, I'm not talking to you all. I'm saying we need to take
man, because I heard him talk about his big belly and how he's still working on it and what's not that, he got some fat too he dealing with.
Absolutely, fat and issues. By the way, Owen says, Mandela is so nice, man. We're going to take a break right now. Listen, YouTube, I'm going to get to your comments as soon as we come back. This is The Conversation. We're going to take a break right now and come back with more after this.
The views and opinions expressed on this show or program are not a reflection of the Bahamas Radio Network and, as an extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
G&M Appliances on Robinson Road has all your air conditioning needs this summer, like the Comfort Star 9000 and 12,000 BTU 13 SEER for just $3.99. Or how about the Comfort Star 18,000 BTU just $5.99? Or how about the Comfort Star 24,000 or $36,000 at the lowest prices possible? We also carry a large selection of air conditioning parts such as fans, compressors, filters, capacitors, or any part you may need. So, call today at 328-2083. We're located on Robinson Road.
We play just like your kids. We text just like your kids. We learn. We even cook. We take selfies. We have hobbies. And we love sports. In every way, we are just like everyone else and enjoy the same things and live our lives every day, just like you do. So if you happen to meet us, treat us just like everyone else. Because at the end of the day, we're just like you. Living life with Down syndrome is simply living. To learn more about Down syndrome, call 727-2105. This message is brought to you by the Grand Bahama Down Syndrome Society.
My teacher say I have hate in my heart, that I am no good, that I like to fight too much. Who does she think put it there? In my house, if you question Daddy, you get a black eye. In my house, a fist is power.
Let's talk. Call the Bahamas Crisis Center's free 24-hour hotline at 328-0922. Sometimes a conversation can change a life.
Everybody, I on TV. Look, I on TV. Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Fontaine, do you see me? I on television. I gotta tell my girlfriend I on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS. Quick, I on television.
I don't have a TV in here.
We have Wi-Fi though.
We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade now. You can watch it live from your phone. You just have to download the app.
All right, hold on.
Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up and start over, girl.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS Radio Network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today.
Miss I's a star now. I still gotta pay.
Tune into the conversation. Talk about it on the conversation. When you need a little motivation, life is better on the conversation. Tune into the conversation. I need a little conversation. You need a little conversation. We can go far with the conversation. Here with Shenique on the conversation, yeah. Here with Shenique on the conversation, yeah. Here with Shenique on the conversation, yeah.
Now you can watch the ZNS network of channels absolutely free. That's right, ZNS is now broadcasting 3 separate channels.
We are their mentor. And when we live long enough to see them succeed, then we know that we have done a great thing. Because that's what we're here for.
Once we get to the kids and we can get Jesus in their heart, then if only we affect one child, that child goes to school in the neighborhood where they might have at least 30 children in the class, and time they spread that good joy, that would be tremendous.
I've narrowed the audio signatures to 2 locations, Orleans and Westboro. What do you think, Pete? Westboro? This one's near an industrial park. I say we start there.
Yep, sounds good.
Let's go.
Follow my lead.
Welcome to Sanjay's Real Time. Can I take your order? We're federal agents. Oh my God, this is so Law and Order right now. Dun dun.
We need the address of everyone who's ordered the Bombay Bun in the last 24 hours.
Love it, Margaret. Watching you, the police. Love it, love it, love it. I'll be watching you. Awesome, right? Welcome back to the conversation.
We need to be watching somebody.
I know, right? Welcome back to the conversation. So here is Mike. Mike, thank you for participating. Mike says he's happy for the shout out, and it says felt good. And Mike, well, thank you. Mike says you look good today. This is the live YouTube audience, guys. Tay, that is fine.
Part of 1 billion viewers worldwide.
That's right, 1 billion viewers. And so you can get onto this YouTube audience as well, which is ZNS Network or ZNS Network Bahamas.
No, I want to encourage people to, smart TVs have taken over now. And so you can sit down in your front room, the same way you watch Oprah and all them other them other people. You can sit here and watch the conversation with Shenique. And I encourage people to do it. It's an awesome way to become informed about what's going on in our society and to engage in the conversation. A lot of people don't believe me, Shenique, when I tell them I became a part of your panel by just calling in one day when you started the conversation.
Yeah,
and so
more than 4 years ago, eh?
Exactly, and so I encourage people to pick up the phone, use the lines, call in, based on something you have to say. You never know. Well, now, you may be the voice that needs to be around the table.
Now, those were in the formation years. Understand this now. You know, when you mature, you do mature things. You know, Angelique, don't play with me, please. Angelique, I miss and tell somebody that we're going to see if we're going to do about the school bags. She can talk about, and Angelique don't need to do this. This is Angelique McKay. Talking about, she want a clutch since I given away bags. Angelique, stop being tropsy, please.
No, but then I was listening to your conversation earlier because I was just like outside the studio.
I need to put my name in it too. You know, I like bags.
See, this is what I'm saying. The conversation y'all were having prior to us being here as the panel, y'all were talking about where to find dress for this amount. So I was like, Shenique can get another red dress. Another red dress?
You know, ladies, I tell you won't get his attention, wear red. That's all I'm saying.
I must say, it's one of my favorite colors on a lady. And so I definitely want to see how they've adorned Aretha Franklin in red, I've heard. And so I heard they say she gone as a diva. So, yeah.
Interesting. Guys, we are going to continue our conversation in a minute. But first, today's show is brought to you by the Ministry of Finance. Also, Maiden's Wholesale giving you wholesale prices and a further 20% off once you get to the cash register. Maiden's Wholesale is just absolutely taking charge of back to school, okay? With the white men's t-shirt, you get that at wholesale price. Also, girls' knee-high socks, the sports socks to do some physical education in, boys' nylon socks. This is, of course, to wear with the uniform pants, boys and girls' school uniforms, girls' singlets, backpacks and totes, Oxford geometry sets, Mead composition books, 200 pages rather, paper mate pens, pencils, and get this, you can also transfer money and pay bills at Mydens as well. Mydens Wholesale, 2 locations here in Nassau. The phone numbers at Robinson Road is 601-3305, 326-7449. East Street South is 676-4435, 325-4434. And Lower Bogey Luthra, 335-2087 and 699-5087. Mydens Wholesale. Go and give them a visit today. You will totally love the savings that you experience at Mydens Wholesale. We also being brought to you today by GM Appliances, has all the specials that you are looking for on ductless units. Starting as low as $399, GM Appliances, 328-2083, 328-2083. S&M Uniform, get this you all, the savings are super. S&M Uniform, located on Marshall Road, providing 50% off on the following uniforms at the following schools: C.I. Gibson, C.R. Walker, D.W. Davis, H.O. Nash, Gerald Cash. S&M is also making it easier for residents in Carmichael Road, Marshall Road, North and South, Faith Avenue and Pinewood Gardens. You all get an additional 10% off for uniforms for the following schools: Anatole Rogers, Prince Wills, C.V. Bethel, S.C. McPherson, Bahamas Academy, Sadie Curtis, and Cleveland Eneas. That's an additional 10% off. S&M Uniform, 361-0126, 361-0126. We also being brought to you today by USA Flea Market. USA Flea Market is on 79th Street and 30th Avenue. Hundreds of stores with all kinds of styles. I mean, styles you don't see nowhere else. USA Flea Market. So go there and give them a visit next time you travel to Miami. Money managers, you heard them here on the show earlier today at the top of the show, talking about just helping you get rid of those credit card debt and also the other small debt that you have, so that you can just free up some stuff, free up that cash. Dress. You know, whichever you want to do, whatever you want to get in, the point is you're going to have to be free to get into it. And so give money managers a call. You all heard the phone numbers, you all heard the website address. Money managers, not no 18 to 21%. And I thank you very much, Hope Strawn, for just putting that out there for us. That is what the credit card interest rates are, 18 to 21%. Half, okay? Half of that is what you get, and you'll be able to just breathe easier. Thank you very much, money managers, for being here. We had the husband and wife team, Patrick and Lavette here, McFall, just talking about how easy that they're making it for everybody. We also being brought to you by Almighty Computers, located on Market Street and East Street South, providing mega sales on computers and your wonderful movies, your favorite movies. In fact, they have DVD days, and on those days, all movies are just $1. It doesn't matter what it is, when it came out, whatever, $1. $1. Go there and just plan your whole weekend. A nice lazy weekend. It's nothing better than that sometime. A nice lazy weekend. A big hello to Club One Fitness Center. Thank you so much, Club One Fitness Center, for coming on board the conversation and supporting the show, and also going out there and continuing to hammer the message of Get Fit Bahamas, Get Healthy, and making it very affordable as well, particularly for teachers and the more mature citizens among us, making it very easy for you to get healthy and get into a nice community of fitness partners who are there to inspire you and to continue pushing and encouraging you. Club One Fitness Center, in fact, Club One has group sessions where they work out together. There are a number of aerobic and dance classes that you can get involved with, personal training, group training, the machines on the floor, just a whole lot's happening. Thank you very much, Club One Fitness Center. And they do transform bodies. Know that. They transform bodies and they get you looking incredible. Club One Fitness Center, located in Sandy Port. Thank you so much. Sponsors, if you would like to be added to this list of sponsors or come here and talk about your business and what's happening, what you're doing, give Renard Miller a call at 805-2494, 805-2494. I would love to welcome you. And so welcome back to the show. We were talking about, before the break, the BPL saga. In fact, Neil Hartnell from the Tribune said it's Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Blue Hill Road. That's what it is, right? But yeah, welcome back to the conversation. Guys, shifting gears a little bit. And, again, this is an abbreviated Hot Topics panel. Here's a headline that grabbed my attention today in today's Guardian. Bahamas a hair's breadth away from a downgrade, says minister. Now, this isn't the Minister of Finance or the Prime Minister speaking. This is the Minister of Education. I'm sorry,
He educating us, Shenique.
He what?
Educating us.
You know, okay, Mandel said he educating us. Throw you is this acceptable to hear that from the Minister of Education?
I think they're playing games with us.
What kind of games do you think?
You remember they said, and we go back to this Westminster system and talking in cabinet and not being able to speak when you're not supposed to. But yet, when it seems appropriate, you have random ministers talking about all kinds of things. And so why is he talking about this? I think it's a lot of distraction. I think they're playing games with us. I think it's all gonna lead to somewhere later along the line. I think Mr. Turnquest probably he was talking something completely different. He said to take the Moody's report as a stabilized economy, and now we're a hairbreadth away from, a downgrade. So these conflicting things that are coming from these different ministers is just leaving us all confused.
Yeah, what is this multiple message going, hitting the public? What is this multiple different messaging that's going out there? And once again, do we need to hear the Minister of Education say this to us?
I don't think we do. I think he needs to focus on education.
On education and getting these schools open.
That's another big place. And see, this is where I talk about distractions. He should be talking about why isn't it that he is able to get these schools open on time? Why is it that every year we go through the same problem, just like with BPL? Everyone says they're going to do better, and we have the same problems. Why isn't he speaking on that and how he's going to correct those problems? Instead, he's talking about the financial services or how the economy is doing when... what is he bringing to the table when he speaks those things? Just pandemonium and shock value for people to be up in arms when we've just heard the Minister of Finance say,
that the economy is level off,
just wait and hold on.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Everything is okay. Don't worry about what Moody said. It's actually kind of positive.
Yeah.
So what is it doing? I think it's just all distractions, all games.
I don't get it. I almost want to ask, okay, who's in charge here? Where's this message coming from? Or is this some tuck shop operation? Like what's up?
It sounds like a tuck shop in a sense because, you have to have some type of direction. And at this point in time, we're looking for real leadership. We're looking for people who are going to be miles ahead of where we are, and we're trying to catch up with the government. And we're like, wow, this is fascinating. We need to get on board with this. But what we're getting is just confusion, mixed up, lack of direction, and just putting the Bahamian people in this awkward position of where are we going and who is really leading us. And I think that is the big question that everyone has on their mind. Who's steering the ship?
I term leadership to be the ability to inspire and motivate individuals around a particular vision, dream, goal, or something of that sort. And I think since this administration came to office, I don't know if they've really laid a vision for the direction that they desire to take the country. And I believe that is the case with Moody's.
Others have? I mean, I just want to try to interject right there. Have we ever had a clear vision from anywhere except in 1973? Except in 1973, have we had since then a leader set a vision of where this country will go, except 1973?
And let me say, though, Shenique, that you are absolutely correct. The vision ended with that original group. And they might not have taken us where we needed to be.
Or where they set that vision.
At least they took us to where they were. So we went from A to B. We have been making circles around B and going back to A, it looks like now, for the past 30 years. It's crazy that there is no vision. And if you don't have a vision, I have a vision for the country. I want a Bahamas that, there isn't poverty and that we're all have equality and there's equity and we can all share in the resources of this country. So if you have some type of vision, then you're going to move towards it. You're going to have goals and objectives to get there. But if you don't have that, where are you going? You will be walking around lost. That's why we're buying hotels in Freeport, and then we're talking about we going green, and then we're doing oil storage places. All of this is has us all wondering, where are we going?
Where are we going? What is the focus first? Okay. First things first. What?
it's confusing. It's really confusing. I don't know if we've demanded this level of leadership from our administrations in the past. And I think until we get to that place as a people where it's a clear demand that this is what's being required of us as a people, it's not until then where leaders understand that you cannot come to the Bahamian people with sound bites and good rallies. But as long as we continue to support that culture and throw our votes behind it, then, they will continue in that vein. And so my encouragement to us as a people is we need to learn from opportunities like this or times like this to start to desire what it is that we truly want for ourselves and our country. And to look among ourselves for it, I've been saying, like in the game of Monopoly, you don't reach halfway around the board yet, and you didn't buy an hotel. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
We just came out of a budgetary period where it was all doom and gloom,
Mm-hmm.
and now all of a sudden, voila. There's a rabbit out the hat, and we can afford a hotel. Not saying that Grand Bahama doesn't need the assistance or something needs to be done in Grand Bahama, but it makes one wonder that when you were saying that the cupboard was bare, was it really bare, or was it that you are now able to find monies to do what you really want to do versus what we desire as a people?
Are you misleading us because we were on this fiscal cliff? But here something pops out of the blue, and you're willing to make, you're willing to walk on water to make this happen. And we've seen this even with the situation with the Life for Key situation, where Bahamians are crying out, VAT is too much, all of this is happening. But you turn around and say, you know what, we're not going to do that. You can't afford it, and we're going to do that. And those were very rich people. That's a whole different kettle of fish.
That one smoothed over easily, but
very easily. That not many people paid attention to because the Life and Key situation, you pander or cater to a certain sect, and the others are crying and screaming out on one end. But listen, we're going to go to the break. Thank you so much, Wolf Albury. Wolf says, I'm so impressed with this show and your guests today. Brilliant and honest commentary. Hello, Andrea. Thank you very, very much. Listen, stay exactly where you are. We're going to take a final break and come back with more of the conversation after this.
This summer, you've got to
happily married with 8 children, Mully felt God calling them to sell everything. That call came in 1986 after a face-to-face encounter with children begging on the street.
I was really tormented by these boys in the street. I saw faces of me, and I could not walk anymore. I cried, why is it that God wanted me to take me back again?
Did you bring the thing?
What thing?
Protection.
Come on, man. You really want to ruin the moment with that?
I actually think it will help the moment. No worries. Now we can continue. Next time, step your game up.
As an artist, I travel all over the world, and I find inspiration all around me. From the people, and especially the environment. I love the Bahamas with all its natural beauty. From Abaco in the north to Inagua in the south, and all the wonderful and colorful islands in between. But we must all do our part to keep the Bahamas healthy and clean, now and for the future generations. That's why I want you to find a little time to do your part. I'm doing my part because I care. Do you?
ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Watch our live channel to keep up with what's going on in the nation. News updates, we've got you covered. Tune into our radio stations with just a swipe. On the road, on the go, we're here with you. Available for download on the App Store and the Google Play Store.
When you respond to the word of God and you begin to speak the word of God and you begin to live the word of God and you begin to act out on the word of God, you will find that there will be a transformed life. And when there is a transformed life, there will be a transformed home. And when there's a transformed home, there'll be a transformed church. And when there's a transformed church, there'll be a transformed community. I'm telling you, you have to respond to the word.
More Bahamians are being encouraged to get involved in fishing and farming in an overall view of growing our agriculture industry, putting the Bahamas in a better position to not only feed ourselves, but create a sustainable food chain of produce for export. Hello, I'm Carla Palmer. In the next episode of Agriculture Now, we'll explore the potential of the fisheries sector. Join me on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m. for Agriculture Now. That's Agriculture Now on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m. on the ZNS Television Network.
So much, Margaret Elizabeth, also Ashley in the television control area, Julian, Anderson Roll, Colin Shortman, a number of people are there just making today's show happen and making today's show possible. Jackie Williams on the Facebook live stream says, great show as always, Monday, look sharp today. Donald Duncombe says, Shenique, the guests that you have today are quite knowledgeable and shows that we have broads that can properly administer the operations of the many corporations. You mean broads? And entities. You ain't mean broads by females. Don't understand, Donald. You're going to have to keep things.
Well, the thing is,
wait, hold on a minute. When Bahamians wake up and realize that this is my time, your time scenario is not consistent with development and growth, change can only come, and we all make a conscious effort to make that difference. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have qualified Bahamians who are willing to do the right thing. It's just that, these little cliques are small. And so we're not getting the best of the country by staying in these small niches and groups of people. When, if you look at Bahamians outside of the country, they're all doing well. Bahamians do well wherever they go, like a person like myself. When I was in school in Canada, I led the International Students Association. We go away and we do excellent. It's only here in the country where we don't always get the opportunities to excel the way that we would in other places. But it's very telling by how well Bahamians pick up, go somewhere else, and all of a sudden they're leading corporations and stuff.
Hello to you, Debbie Smith, watching from New York City today. Thank you for tuning in.
There's a book that I would encourage every Bahamian to read. It's called The Life at Legacy. And in this book, they talk about how they would have built Life at Key from its inception to where it is now, and how nepotism is one of the fundamental pillars in the community that they've built. If you notice their businesses, even the ones that are challenged in their families have a place in the business to work. Meanwhile, we're here as a people, the average Bahamian, we barely could get a chicken coop going with our cousin. I use that to say it's not until we realize the strength in each other and we start to build on that strength that we will capitalize on the countless opportunities that exist within our country. We got to get away from this whole idea of the black crab syndrome and the this, that, and the next, and start to work and build with each other. And
how do you get black people to do that?
That is the question. And, I've been faced because, I'm also an entrepreneur, Shenique. And I've tried, even before I started my business, engaging with people who I thought was like-minded. Very difficult how some people view how they should run a business, how they should interact with each other, how they should deal with the money. We need to really go in there and educate our people on working together. Every other community in this country is doing it and doing very well. The Europeans, the Greeks, the people talk about the Haitians, they're working together. Everybody except for the Bahamians, and this is a big part of why we're being left behind, because we can't simply put down all our animosity towards each other, all this self-hate, I guess, and just simply work together for a common goal. Unity is going to be what is going to help us to move forward. And I think this is why our government isn't always addressing our problems, because they don't even see a united front from us. We're all over the place.
Your question, you said, how do we do that? It's sad, but I believe this is what it's going to lead to. It's only out of desperation and despair that we're going to truly rise to the occasion. And I encourage persons to, in whatever their challenge is in their little circle, to come together in whatever your numbers are. If it's you, your cousin, your auntie, and your uncle, come together and solve your problems and bring those solutions to a greater number of us. And I feel if we start to do that, then eventually we'll be together as a whole block, and we will have that unity that's needed on the greater front to take our country.
Certainly a
towards
conversation
a new
to
frontier.
continue. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mandel Miller, Dr. Denothro Archer. Thank you both very much. A great conversation today. And Donald, it was me that misread. Absolutely me. He says what he meant is that boards, the boards that can properly administer the operations of corporations and other entities should be in place to move our country forward. So, Donald, thank you. Today's show brought to you by Ministry of Finance, Almighty Computers, Midas Wholesale, USA Flea Market, S&M Uniforms, Money Managers, GM Appliances, and Club One Fitness Center. Stay close. The news at 6 is straight ahead.
The views and opinions expressed on this show or program are not a reflection of the Bahamas Radio Network and, as an extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.